Hi, this is Bill, and continuing on the series of Autocad tutorial, I'm now going to go into 3D, and this system is the way I work. It may not be other people's systems, and rather than draw cubes and cylinders and so on like that, I'll show you how to actually draw a platform that possibly could be built. So first of all, I'm going to start out just by drawing the floor. It's just going to be an L-shaped platform, and to do that I'll just go alpha line, I'll go polyline. I'll do polyline, and we'll make it 6,000 that way. That's direct distance entry, and we'll go down by say 4,000, and along here but by say 2,000, up by say 1,500. And now as we use the point filters, or that little gadget there, see how it's wanting to get to the right place? That's one of these ones down here, which I don't often use, object snap tracking. It's quite good. And that should be a closed polyline now. And everything is always in 3D. Even though when you're drawing in 2D, you think you're drawing in 2D. In actual fact, you have been drawing in a 3D space all along, and there it is. You just click on there, and it shows you the southwest isometric view of that. And you can look at it from that way, or that way, or that way. That's very handy. And then when you want to get back to a plan view, you just hit top. So there we are. We've got our piece of floor. Now because we're going to use this piece of floor later on, we go CO for copy, pick it, and just park it over there somewhere, just for later. Now, if we look from the left, we can draw the square hollow section that's going to be there. So we go up to rectangle at 75 by 75, drawing our rectangle, and then we use our offset command to offset it by 5 millimeters. So this piece of solid steel is going to have a wall thickness of 5 millimeters. Okay, so we've drawn that out in space. Sometimes things will be drawn way over here, and your model might be way over there. Don't fret about that, that's no big deal. And you'll notice that this has changed too. That means the way we've been drawing from looking from the left, and the Z always comes out of the page towards us. So this bit of stuff, this profile as such, we can pop that on the midpoint of that piece there. So we want a piece of steel that goes right around that profile. So we'll need our modeling tools, and I see in the original setup I didn't put modeling in there. So, and this one here is losing its you can't get at it. So let's just move that over there to there, and move this one up a little bit. You can juggle these things around, you can even lock them. So you can see all of that now. And we'll right click on here and get ourselves the modeling tools, and it's snapped over there because that's where I had it, but it'll probably snap, it'll end up here somewhere, so you just move it over to one side and it'll straighten up and fly right. Okay, so all we need to do is issue the sweep command. Very nice command, this sweep. We're going to pick our objects to be swept, which is those two there, and we pick the path, and job done. Now notice that this here is one piece, and the bit inside is also one piece. So if we were to chop this, all we would see is one great big lumpy thing. But we don't want that. We want it to have a hollow section. So we want the slab of butter on the middle to be taken away from the big one on the outside. To do that, we just issue the subtract command, SU for subtract, shortcut. Subtract from this one, hit enter, choosing that one to take away, hit enter. So it doesn't look like it's done anything, but see, it's when you click on it, it's all highlighted, it's all one piece, and if you cut through it, you'll see that as being a hollow object. Right, now we're going to have a go at putting in a post. So again, we do issue the rectangle command at 75 by 75, that's relative coordinates, and we issue the offset command. It's choosing 5, which is what we had before. So, and now we subtract, no we don't, we extrude with the extrude button, both of those things, and we'll just key in a height, say you can make it 3000, and job done. Now we could, if we wanted, see that's one piece, and that's another piece. We could subtract that away from there right now if we wanted to, but just to make life a little easier, see there's a little pointer on there, we can pull that one up. See, that one's a little bit higher now than the other one. I'll pull it down so that it's down further. You can play with these as much as you like, and we'll issue conceptual shading. See, now conceptual shading, when it first starts out, by Mr. Autocad, he did a nice thing. He thought that we'd like white edges. Well, I reckon white edges look horrible. So I'll go HL settings, and I'll change those white edges of the visual style to as black as I can get it, which is select color, that one there. Probably is the number for black, but I can't be bothered finding out about it. And see, now you can see it a little more clearly. This is the conceptual style of shading. This is realistic, and that doesn't have any edges on it. You can have many different colors, and especially if you dial up your constrained orbit. See, constrained orbit just goes like that. And if you go to visual styles, there's a whole lot of other ones down here. You can have shades of grey. Shades of grey is quite nice, quite good. But see, there's no joint there because that is sort of trying to occupy the same space as that one. Okay, and now then we can slip back into our wireframe mode by just pressing this button here. You can actually press all these ones up here. Oh, there's another one. You can do that if you want to. No big deal. Now, just to make life easier for myself, I'll click on that and bring him down, and he'll automatically line up with the top of that. So if I move this post, I'll just pick him up and put him on there like that. Now we'll draw a piece of flooring. We'll just draw a box. There's a box, and there's the box, and it says how high do you want your box, and we'll make it 100 high. And now we see that our piece of floor is, all our object is way below it. So in the meantime, we'll just move this whole thing up so that he's above the floor. And eventually we'll get round to the stage where the top of this will be distant from the floor. We'll make it a set distance, so we'll make it 2 meters, or 2000 millimeters. Okay. And in the meantime we'll put this piece that we had hiding over here, we'll extrude him. See the extrude button over here? And we'll make him 5 mil high. He's now a piece of 5 mil steel. So if you move this guy here, and we just pop him on top of there like so, he's now a piece of steel on top of there. And if we do a coloured inversion, you can see that. And if we go, we can do all this sort of stuff, using that one there, but this one here will allow us to look underneath. We can sort of look underneath and see that that's what it looks like underneath. Okay. Now, one thing that you don't have is two screens on here, and so you can't see what I'm going to do next unless I bring in my Explorer. It's going to cover the screen up a little bit, but if you've got two screens, it's the way to go, because you can, for instance, you've drawn a footplate block somewhere else and you're saving it. You can go into your library. There's my CAD drawing library. I've got some standard drawings of some common parts, I call them, platform parts. And on here, I've got a 75 post. I've got the 3D object for that, and it just pop that in there and just put that there like that. And it's asking for an X scale factor, hit enter on 1, and rotate, Y scale factor, and rotation like that. So there it is there. So it's not on the end of on the end of there, which is where I'd like it to be. So there's no big deal. You just issue the move command, put that, pick that, and pop him on there, and move him along about, say, 5 mil, just to make that, because I've got a weld around the back there. Now there is a command called UCS detect, and I've got it set at 0. Sometimes Mr. Autocad loves to set that at 1 just to make your life difficult. And what happens is this, is that you try and insert that footplate when you've got it set it to 1, and all sorts of mayhem starts to result. It's going around that way, it's going around that way. It doesn't want to go into the right place. So if we delete that one and we go UCS detect, and we set that to 0. Always set that to 0. It's called dynamic UCS, and it's just a pain. It's not being made to work properly, but as yet, as far as I know. So we go back to Alter to try and put that footplate in, and you'll notice that, see, my insert point has been made so that it allows for that enter. It's allowed for that 5 mil sort of little back bit on there. And you'll see that nowhere is that the correct height. So we moved all of that stuff. Here's where your point filters come into play. All of that stuff, the dot Y, you're only interested in the Y dimension. See how it slapped it on the floor there? And now, if I wanted that to be 2000 from the floor, the actual floor there, so offset 2000. That's a pretty low platform. Hang on, we'll make it 2500. Offset 2500, just to make it a bit more realistic. And there it is. So if we move all of our top platform bits, using that as our reference, dot Y of the end of that comes to there. Now, that's where leaving this as it was a good idea, because all we have to do is pull that down, and they pull down rather nicely. So now we can subtract, subtract from this block of cheese the inner block of cheese. Excuse the dairying tape. I'm trying to delete these 2 lines. So there we have it. We've got that, and that, and we're just about to finish. We've finished. We'll start the next one.